Hey, how are you guys doing tonight? Thanks for checking out this video. It's another late night one. And apparently it's just gonna be me and my nipples tonight because I didn't throw a shirt on top, so it is what it is. Okay, so everybody basically thinks since Trump's come into office, things are just going to be great. Things are going to be, well, everything's going to get turned around and he's not a war president and no wars have ever started under him. Well, we're playing with a little F around and find out at the moment with Iran. A lot of people don't understand the capabilities of Iran. And I think we're gonna get a little bit of a wake-up call if we keep pushing this. Now, I don't necessarily think that they have the capability to knock us out. I don't think they have the capability to put a huge hurting on us through the military, but I think they're capable. Right now, we're sending over, I think we have 2 carrier fleet groups over there. All of NATO has things stationed over in the Red Sea. Unless you're kind of blind, it really seems like something's brewing up right there. That's pretty easy to see if you pay attention to the geopolitics that are going on around the world. So we have this buildup. Now, it's probably just a show of force. It's probably just a little bit of a deterrent to kind of show Iran that, hey, we're here, we mean business. You keep playing around with, funding the Houthis and funding Yemen to take out cargo ships and commercial vehicles and vessels, rather, in the canal or the strait. I forget which one it is over there at the moment. What's the flavor of the day, But if they don't slow down on supporting them and helping them do these acts of terror to our shipping lanes and stuff like that, that we're going to show them who's boss. We're going to show them you can't do that. Which means we're going to start a war with Iran. Now, if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. I think a lot of people group Iran and Iraq kind of together in the same little sphere of countries as far as their power goes in their military. Well, let me tell you this, that Iran is a lot more powerful than Iraq. When we went into Iraq, Desert Storm back in the 90s, weapons of mass destruction, we're starting to see that kind of play out now. I've been seeing it in the news since I talked about that in the video, believe it or not. But it is not the same beast at all. Iran is quite capable. They're capable with their cyber. They are capable with their missiles. They're capable with their drones. And they're not so capable as far as destroying the economy of the US or anything like that. They could do it. There are ways that they can do it. Also, they're capable of terrorist attacks. They have plenty of sleeper cells. They have plenty of personnel that are in the US willing to act on the word of Iran. Now, whether they're IDA or if that's what they call it, I forget what they call the military there. That might be Israel, but the Iranian defense and military and all that stuff. They're either going to be a part of that directly or they're going to be part of somebody that answers to Iran, being Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Taliban. All these different organizations ultimately answer to somebody. And whoever's going to be flipping the bill, giving them money, however the politics is going to work, they are under Iran. Now, we go in, let's just say, we get sick and tired of them playing around if, Lebanon and Yemen and all their proxies keep attacking. Right now, Lebanon's attacking into Israel more and more, the last I heard at least. So we're wanting to stand up for Israel. We're wanting to stand in there. And this is all financed and all led by Iran. Well, we're probably going to be going to war with Iran. Now, what's going to look like going into a war? Now, like I said, they're not going to be able to hurt us economically very much. They can indirectly, of course, terrorist attacks. But definitely cyber attacks. Now, they have the capabilities of doing cyber attacks. They are the recipient of one of the biggest cyber attacks that's ever happened in the history of the world. They learned about it. They know how to do it. They have their group. Plus, they are backed by Russia and China, both. So they're going to have the intelligence. They're going to have all the means of information that they're going to need to successfully take out attacks against the U.S. Because China's got the information and definitely Russia's got the information. So that's going to be a very possible thing. They're very capable of pulling it off, and personally I think they absolutely can. It's just a matter of time. This is stuff that's been talked about for a long time. It's time for a big attack, really. I would really hate to see that happen, obviously, because that's going to affect everybody, but yes, they have the capabilities of that. Now, as far as the military goes, as far as I know, they're one of the biggest drone manufacturers probably in the world, maybe aside of China. But they're producing a lot of drones. Now, drones can't really go too far, but they're going to be able to reach out and touch our military bases, touch Israel, definitely. I'm not even positive if we have bases in Israel. I'm sure we probably do. But definitely for a full-on attack towards Israel and on the military bases, just with the drones. Now, that can escalate things dramatically when it comes to our Air Force coming into Iran, shooting off missiles from the ocean. You know, there's a lot of different ways that we can reach out and touch Iran. They're going to have a little harder time getting to us. Now, they do have ballistic missiles, as far as I know. They have a huge surplus of weapons that they've been building up for a long time. All these countries have been building up for the next move in the world. And as far as America goes, we've just been fat and happy. We haven't been thinking about it too much because nobody's ever going to threaten the U.S., right? So that's what they think. But we're just in that position to where we're not really floored with our military and dumping as much money as we should be into it. Meanwhile, China, Russia's been doing it for a while. All of NATO, except for us, the European Union, Iran, the Middle East, everybody is really just bumping up their military and what they can produce. So they're going to be perfectly capable of hitting the U.S. indirectly at their pocketbook, but making some waves. They can definitely make some waves. Now, depending on how big of an attack it might be on the U.S., it can disturb social peace, whether we have that or not right now. But I think when the social breakdown actually happens, you're going to pray for the times like right now to where we're fighting over DEI issues. So there could be indirect things that could possibly disrupt us back here at home, and including cyber attacks or something like that. So also with the military, they do have an Air Force, they have a Navy. They play dirty. They're not going to be playing all nice and stuff like that. Now, the U.S. doesn't really play nice either. We've gone and bombed elementary schools to no end. You know, we have a reputation for doing that. So we play pretty dirty too, but there might be a sense of guerrilla warfare in a way that's going to get mixed into their Navy or Air Force or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's the Middle East. I don't put anything past them. And also terrorist attacks. There's definitely a high risk of terrorist attacks in this country if we go in and invade or start attacking Iran. They're in this country. We know they're in this country. They're going to be multiple different groups from Al-Qaeda, ISIS, like I mentioned, that can come in here and do a significant amount of damage to the United States from within. That was one of the biggest things about our borders being open, is we let all these people in without vetting them or anything like that. And yes, we got a lot of terrorists. So whether it's going to be Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Iranians, whatever force they have, they definitely have the potential to reach out and touch the United States. A lot of people think it would just be an easy go in, wipe them out, leave, kind of like we did Iraq. I think it's going to be quite a bit different. I think it's going to be a lot longer war. And I think it's going to get China thinking of when to make their moves when we might be a little bit weak or anything like that. Iran, China, and Russia are going to be working together. They are on the same team. They do have military pacts, and they have these agreements with each other to support each other in a time of war. Now, that's more so with Russia and China, but Iran is still in there. So, yeah, it's not going to be as easy as people think. And personally, I think this could be pretty good shit show, and it might even be the official unofficial start to World War III if we go in there. But like I said in my last video, China is still the shit show. China is still where it's going to go down, but there are going to be multiple buildups up to this point that Iran, well, they're in the radar right now. So we will see how it goes. I have no idea how this is going to go. Trump might go in and wave the Trump wand and make everything all okay, and nobody's going to have anything to say about anything. But there's also the fact that we might be at war. We might go to war. We might start this war over in Iran. Whether you want to consider us starting it or not, that's debatable. I get that. But yep, there's a good chance that shit might go down just by the look of what's going on in the world right now. So hopefully it gives you something to think about. There's definitely going to be some retaliation. Trump hates Iran. Iran hates Trump. There's assassination threats, and we assassinated one of their guys. And there's already this pot brewing that's been brewing for several years. But like I said, Trump's got a chip on his shoulder, and he might be coming back for a little bit of revenge or do a George Bush Jr. thing, you know, how he went back to Iraq to help his daddy. Yeah, Trump might be going back to help himself in this case. So, yeah, anyway, I figured I'd talk about that a little bit tonight. Iran is definitely one of the big topics in the news right now. It's what a lot of people are talking about. I figured I'd give my 2 cents towards it. Definitely something to pay attention to and keep an eye out to see if anything's flaring up over there. Do that, but stay safe, enjoy, keep on prepping, and I'll leave it with that. So I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.